I could have died.
You want me to train you? I'm training you.
The Green Lantern's oath is to protect people. And we both know I do a better job of this than you. You're old. You're tired. And your time is up.
This is my job. As long as I'm alive, that ain't changing.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. DC and James Gunn dropped the new Lanterns trailer. There are a lot of theories about what's happening with Hal Jordan in the future of the DCU because they just confirmed that it was Jon Stewart who would be coming back in the Man of Tomorrow movie, the Superman 2 sequel. So all those lines of dialogue between Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan about him being past his prime, taking over for him, and him literally invoking his death, talking about doing this until he dies, makes you way more worried that they're going to kill Hal Jordan off by the end of the series. Will they Ned Stark him full Game of Thrones style? Because it is an HBO show. Most of the vibe of their dialogue between the two of each other in the actual trailer is that they're kind of butting heads, and he's trying to train him. He's a brand new Green Lantern. Jon Stewart is a brand new Green Lantern, but they're also kind of making it seem like the lantern ring that he's meant to be using is Hal Jordan's ring, not a completely different ring like the comics. We actually see him holding the lantern battery that Hal Jordan uses to charge his ring. Ryan Reynolds had a completely different looking version because the look of that movie was completely different from what they're doing in Lanterns. But it's the same basic idea. The lantern battery is something that he uses on planet Earth when he's away from the giant Green Lantern battery on Oa to recharge his ring. We know a little bit more about what's happening in the Man of Tomorrow movie, and I think this does confirm my theory that Jon Stewart is meant to be the Green Lantern who shows up on the Justice League when that eventually forms out of the current Justice Gang that we have in the first Superman movie, who will also be coming back in Man of Tomorrow. There have been a lot of theories about what they're doing with the older version of Kyle Chandler's Hal Jordan. He seems like he's meant to be in his 50s. He's been a Green Lantern for a very long time. And when you look at his Green Lantern suit that he hangs up in the closet, obviously they're not going full Ryan Reynolds meme. Don't make it animated. Don't make it CG.
And please don't make the super suit green. Or animated.
Most of the conversation has been about where the green is. Like, why does it look so brown if this is all about Green Lanterns? Based on all the other trailer footage and everything that Hal Jordan has been saying about himself that he's talking to Jon Stewart about, basically training him in having been a Green Lantern for so long, it mostly seems like the way they're treating the suit as if it's like one single physical suit, and it's seen so much battle damage and so much wear and tear that the green has worn down, and I think it's meant to be a metaphor for his character. Like, he is a very tired, battle-worn character who has been through many adventures at this point and is very embittered. Also because he's probably reticent to train Jon Stewart because of what happened with his former mentor, Sinestro, who is a part of the series. We don't see him in the actual trailer as far as we know. We're actually supposed to see Hal Jordan's mother and Jon Stewart's father, so I think we're going to get flashbacks for both of the characters when they were much younger, both as children, and then Hal Jordan when he was much younger in a brand new Green Lantern being trained by Sinestro. So I think that we'll get Sinestro flashbacks, but maybe also Sinestro in present day too, after he's taken the Yellow Lantern ring and quit the Green Lantern Corps. There is a little bit of Hal Jordan using his Green Lantern ring on the person that he's interrogating at the end of the trailer here, so he does actually use constructs the way you would expect, even though the series is meant to be very terrestrial, very down-to-earth cowboy type of Western series. We also got character descriptions for a lot of these characters that seem like they're regular people, but are probably secretly aliens. The actual person he's interrogating here, lighting up his Green Lantern ring like he's going to use it on him, is played by Chris Coy, and the only name that they're giving him on the series right now in the wiki description is Waylon Sanders, and they call him an intelligent survivor or a nervous truck driver. His age and real name is unknown. He's unbound by the laws of nature. Which just screams like he's an alien masquerading as someone else on Earth, and maybe he's responsible for ferrying in some weapons or trafficking in something from outer space. Like there is some shady, evil organization that's doing something in this town trying to hide it. But the way that the characters are talking about the actual Green Lantern ring, Hal Jordan's ring that you see him put on the dashboard of his car here, makes it seem like he wants Jon Stewart to use his ring to save himself. If he winds up passing his Green Lantern ring to John Stewart, that would actually be a very big comic book change, because they are both active Green Lanterns on Earth at the same time, along with Guy Gardner. Like, Earth has many different Green Lanterns, mostly because people ask this question, like, why there's so many Green Lanterns just for this one sector of space with Earth in it. Technically, the reason is because DC thought that it would sell more comics if there were more Earth-based Green Lanterns, but the actual lore-based reason is that Earth resides at this nexus of all these different ley lines and all this power, so it requires more Green Lanterns than other sectors of space.
Have you ever talked with the other Lanterns?
I'm the only human. They're aliens. One of them's a fucking squirrel.
I know a lot of people have also asked about the timeline of the series too, because the way that Hal Jordan talks about the other members of the Green Lantern Corps, he almost makes it seem like he forgot about Guy Gardner, or Guy Gardner doesn't exist when he's actually telling John Stewart about this. I don't think that that is the case. I think this is meant to take place after the events of the Superman movie, so Guy Gardner is still active on planet Earth, and it's probably because he doesn't care about Guy Gardner, or he really, really hates him, which would also be accurate to the comics. Most people do not like Guy Gardner in the comics. And James Gunn already said that Guy Gardner shows up inside the Lantern series, so that already kind of throws water on the idea that it's a prequel before Guy Gardner becomes a Green Lantern. And Guy Gardner is supposed to be wearing his Justice Gang suit in the Lantern series. There was actually a question about this too, like, why isn't he in plain clothes? Why is he wearing his Justice Gang suit, like the one that doesn't look like his comic book accurate suit? That's like a whole other thing too, like, why isn't his suit more comic book accurate too? Whole lot of complaints about everybody's Green Lantern suits. The only explanation I've seen for why he doesn't walk around in plain clothes like Hal Jordan and John Stewart during the Lantern series is just because he likes being famous and recognized, and he would be recognized as a famous person on Earth because he's part of the Justice Gang. So part of the idea is that Guy Gardner likes being famous, he likes being recognized, and wants people to recognize him. And it kind of seems like Hal Jordan wants to stay on the DL when he enters town. Like, he doesn't want to announce himself as a Green Lantern to everybody to see, wearing his costume around all town. Even though the series is meant to be terrestrial based in this small town, there are a bunch of aliens here secretly that are masquerading as humans or look like humans or humanoid, and you see a lot of alien technology and a lot of things exploding in the background. So clearly they're hiding a lot of things in the trailer footage, like a lot of advanced weaponry and a lot of really crazy stuff going on in the background that they'll probably see in future trailers. Probably the best example of this is we have some more details on some of these other characters that it seems like Hal Jordan gets into fights with. So Paul Ben Victor here, this actor, is playing someone named Anton, and Anton is an extraterrestrial devoted to exposing the truth and exacting vengeance against those who wronged his people. Consumed by deep and unrelenting hatred for the law, he is determined to deliver justice on his own terms. So basically an anti-hero vigilante type of alien character, but he looks just like a human.
Something is off here.
Maybe this is because of some technology or some cloaking device that he's using to disguise himself as humanoid. So I do like the theory that a lot of the people you see them getting into fights with and getting roughed up by, like being interrogated, are also aliens masquerading as humans. We barely see him in the trailer, but Jason Ritter is playing a character named Billy Macon, and Garrett Dillahunt, who everybody probably recognized in the trailer, is playing what I think is his brother, William Macon. The way that his character description reads, he sounds like he is actually from town, he is an actual human, but he could be an alien as well too. He says that he's a self-righteous cowboy and conspiracy-minded man who masks his ruthless ambition behind a charming and calculated facade. That is kind of a vague character description. He could be alien masquerading as human, but he could also just be one of the human antagonists on the series who are in league with aliens, because how did they get all these alien weaponry that you see them holding John Stewart up with? There are a lot of people that thought that maybe Intergang had something to do with what's happening in this town. They could be trying to take advantage of Earth. There are a couple different criminal space-based organizations that could be working on Earth. Based on the way that James Gunn talked about the pitch for the series, the whole reason why Hal Jordan and John Stewart come to this town is because they're investigating the murder of a very, very important person, and it sounds like it's another member of the Green Lantern Corps that was killed. When people saw John Stewart holding the Green Lantern battery in the trailer, he's in the hospital gown, people actually thought that it might be an Alan Stewart reference, and Alan Stewart might have been the Green Lantern who was killed. Whoever does wind up being dead, like they're investigating the actual killing on the football field here, that's why they're actually here, where it actually happened. True Detective meets Friday Night Lights to make all the Kyle Chandler references. Whoever did get killed has to be a very, very important figure to the Green Lantern Corps. Otherwise, regular human authorities or like other members of the Justice Gang, some of the other lower level superheroes on Earth would be handling this. Not the Green Lantern Corps specifically. It'd have to be a very, very important person for them to get involved. It would also have to involve a very powerful space-based villain organization too. But everyone let me know in the comments if you're getting all these vibes from Hal Jordan and John Stewart, making it seem like he wants to take over for him, like you're old and tired, I'm way better at this than you, I should be doing this, not you kind of stuff. And even Hal Jordan saying that he's going to continue doing this until he dies. Like he mentions dying a couple times, a couple different ways in the trailer. Do you actually think that they're trying to misdirect us and Hal Jordan will continue surviving after this, or it'll be some rug pull twist kind of idea? Because if you remember, Damon Lindelof, who's working on the series, did the Watchmen HBO series, and they made it seem like Dr. Manhattan died at the end of that series, and somebody else took the mantle of the next Dr. Manhattan from him. Weirdly, it should not be possible to kill Dr. Manhattan, though, based on the way his powers work. I was actually kind of hoping that John Stewart would earn his stripes, so to speak, because he comes from the military as a Green Lantern by the end of this series, like become a full-on Green Lantern, using a ring, having a suit, eventually joining the version of the Justice League that forms down the road. But they would also find a way to turn Hal Jordan into a version of Parallax for that arc in the comics. More likely what'll probably happen is they'll give him an ending that will be very ambiguous so they can bring Hal Jordan back in any way they want to in the future. But if you actually look at the contracts that the actors sign, Aaron Pierre's contract for John Stewart actually extends to the movies. Now that's why they confirmed that he's coming back in Man of Tomorrow, like confirming my theories about him joining the Justice League eventually. But also Kyle Chandler's contract was only for this season of Lanterns, it's not for the movies. I know everybody's asking about Superman 2, Man of Tomorrow, and what's happening with John Stewart and all the other characters in the movie. There are a couple new ones that have been confirmed recently. So obviously we know about Superman and Lex Luthor, all the Daily Planet characters like the regulars Lois Lane, Perry White, Jimmy Olsen, everybody there. James Gunn was just posting pictures from the place where they filmed the Daily Planet during the first Superman movie, doing location scouting for them filming, because they're going to start filming the movie very soon. They're bringing back the Justice Gang characters from the first movie, Hawkgirl, Guy Gardner, Mr. Terrific, Maxwell Lord, maybe Supergirl, because it seems like she worked with the Justice Gang based on the Peacemaker Season 2 scene, and the movie takes place after the Supergirl movie, and at the end of the story that they're adapting for that Woman of Tomorrow, she comes back to planet Earth. James Gunn also confirmed that the Engineer is coming back, Rick Flag Sr., obviously Brainiac is going to be the main villain of the movie, and possibly Maxima. Streets are saying that Maxima is going to be working with Brainiac in the movie as a secondary antagonist. When I did my talk with James Gunn, when I got to ask him a bunch of questions, he did say that the Salvation Planet was going to be a very, very big part of the movie. So I don't know if Peacemaker and the Peacemaker characters are also going to come back in the movie. Maybe in the background too, but not as like really, really big characters. Like there was a small Peacemaker cameo in the first movie. Maybe something on that level too. I told him it'd be funny to see Peacemaker show up in the background riding a dinosaur or something crazy. Like he doesn't need to do a whole lot of stuff. Just have him in the background, just doing something funny. But they're about to start filming that movie, so we'll probably see some more behind-the-scenes footage and get a better idea of what's actually happening with Brainiac and the other characters like John Stewart, Green Lantern. Everybody post all your reactions in the comments below, and let me know what other things you want to see them do with the Green Lantern characters. I know a lot of people are asking about Kyle Rayner now, too. Like, when are they going to do Kyle Rayner in live action? I'm not expecting a ton of Green Lantern Easter eggs during the Supergirl movie, but maybe some references in the background. All the Lanterns episodes will start releasing after the Supergirl movie comes out, though. That's the whole idea, is that's the next big DC thing after the Supergirl movie. I know there's going to be a ton of questions about the big Warner Brothers, Paramount buyout. I've already done a couple big videos about that and what James Gunn's fate is going to be in the next several years. So everybody click here for that, and click here for all my other Lanterns trailer videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.